Have you ever stood in line at the grocery store looking at the person ahead of you and wondered why life seems so agonizingly difficult for some and so effortlessly abundant for others? It keeps you up at night, doesn't it? The knowing feeling that there is a secret language of money that everyone else seems to speak fluently while you are left stuttering, trying to survive on scraps. You work yourself to the bone, you show up, you sweat, you sacrifice, and yet the money slips away, like water, through a clenched fist. It vanishes before it even hits your account. Is it fate? Is it bad luck? Is it because you weren't born into the right family? No. I need you to hear this clearly. Poverty is not an accident and wealth is not a lottery win. Both are the result of a blueprint. Just as there is a specific architectural structure that keeps a building standing, there is a specific behavioral structure that builds a fortune. The people who are winning the money game aren't smarter than you. They aren't working harder than you. They are simply operating with a different set of codes. They are executing small, almost invisible habits that compound into an avalanche of success. You might be sitting there thinking, "You don't know my situation. I'm drowning here." But money is neutral. It only respects one thing: the laws that govern it. Part 2. The architecture of prosperity. The second you align your daily actions with these laws, the tide begins to turn. We are going to dismantle the 8 fundamental habits that separate the wealthy from the poor. These aren't just tips, they are the survival kit for your financial freedom. If you commit to just one, your life shifts. If you master all 8, you become unrecognizable a year from now. But this requires you to be active, not passive. Join this tribe of builders. Declare your war cry. Write down the one financial burden you are going to destroy this year. Is it debt? Is it fear? Is it living paycheck to paycheck? Speak it into existence. Real wealth is never a fluke. It is a calculated, deliberate architecture. You have to stop waiting for a savior, a market crash, a boom, or a stroke of luck. The empire you want is built brick by boring brick through the quiet, unsexy power of repetition. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. Most people think success requires complex formulas or elite connections, but the simplicity is what makes it effective. I remember grinding 16 hours a day, exhausted and running on anxiety. I thought the answer was just more effort, yet my bank account mocked me. Part 3. Laborer versus architect. I looked at people who worked half as much as I did but had 10 times the peace. I didn't get it until I stumbled upon the philosophy of working harder on yourself than you do on your job. That moment was my awakening. I realized I was trading time for money, but I wasn't building the capacity to keep it. I was a laborer, not an architect. 2 people can be given the exact same seed. One eats it because they are hungry now, and the other plants it because they want to eat forever. That is the difference. It isn't about the size of the check, it is about the size of the discipline. The wealthy don't stumble into prosperity, they engineer it. They plant seeds in the winter so they can harvest in the summer. If you are sick and tired of the stress and the fear of the mailbox, you must accept that you have the power to change the trajectory. It starts with the daily grind of good habits. Let's begin with the most critical one. The first command of wealth building is non-negotiable. You must pay yourself first. Before the landlord, before the electric company, before the barista, you must take a slice of your labor and keep it for your future self. Habit 1. Pay yourself first. Most people treat their savings as an afterthought, keeping only what is left over. But there is never anything left over, is there? You have to treat your savings like your most vicious, loyal bodyguard. Imagine your money as an employee that never sleeps, never takes a sick day, and never asks for a raise. If you treat that employee well, it will eventually take care of you for the rest of your life. There is a story about a young man who told his mentor, "I can't save money, I'm broke." The mentor said, "That is exactly why you must save. If you cannot manage the pennies, the universe will never trust you with the dollars." Saving just 10 cents out of every dollar isn't about the math, it's about the discipline. When you pay yourself first, you are sending a psychological signal that you value your future more than your present impulses. I don't care if you start with 1%. Take it off the top. Make it automatic. Make it painful if you have to. But never work a full month only to give every single hour of your effort away to someone else. You cannot conquer what you do not confront. Habit 2. Track every dollar. The reason most people are broke isn't a lack of income, it's a lack of vision. They are flying blind. Money evaporates in $5 increments. A subscription here, a snack there, a fee you didn't notice. You wake up wondering where it all went, feeling betrayed by your own bank balance. But you can't manage a mystery. Think of your life as a corporation. If a CEO had no idea where revenue was going, the company would collapse. Yet, you run the most important business on earth, your life, without looking at the ledger. For the next 30 days, you are going to become a forensic accountant of your own life. Every penny, every coffee, every tip, write it down. Use a pen or an app. Just get it out of the dark and onto the paper. The goal isn't to shame yourself, it is to turn the lights on. When you see the numbers in black and white, the shock will wake you up. You will see the leaks and realize that you aren't broke. You're just bleeding. It feels like putting on prescription glasses. Respect your money enough to count it. Once you know where it's going, you can tell it where to go. Move from passenger to pilot. Habit 3. Live below your means. This brings us to the third habit, which requires the most strength of character. You must live below your means. This is not about being a miser, it is about being a strategist. It is about the difference between looking rich and actually being free. Every influencer is screaming at you to upgrade your lifestyle, but the truly wealthy know that status is a trap. I knew a man worth millions who drove a sedan older than his children. He told me, "I don't buy things that rust, I buy freedom." That sentence changed my DNA. Every dollar spent on a shiny metal box is a dollar that isn't working for you. Margin, that gap between what you earn and what you spend, is where your freedom lives. Most people fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. They get a raise and immediately buy a bigger house. They run faster just to stay in the same place. That is a prison of your own making. Living below your means is an act of rebellion against consumerism. It requires a strong spine. Be okay with people thinking you have less, so that one day you can have more than they can imagine. Sacrifice the appearance of wealth for the reality of it. Habit 4. Daily consumption of knowledge. If you want your bank account to grow, your mind must grow first. The fourth habit is the daily consumption of knowledge. Reading and learning are as essential as breathing. Your income will rarely exceed your level of personal development. If you are the same person today that you were last year, you are falling behind. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Schools teach you how to be an employee. Books teach you how to be an owner. Become obsessed with your evolution. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to feeding your brain. Listen to a finance podcast while you commute or read 10 pages of a biography of a titan. Instead of watching cat videos, study how money works. Knowledge is the only asset that cannot be taxed, stolen, or lost. Most people hack away at the tree of life with a dull blade. The wealthy take the time to sharpen the axe so they can cut through the noise with one strike. Distraction is the enemy of your greatness. Turn off the news and turn on your mind. The moment you think you know it all is when you begin to lose it all. Habit 5. Consistent investing. Saving is how you survive, but investing is how you thrive. You cannot save your way to millions. You have to invest your way there. You must transition from working for money to making money work for you. Many people are terrified of investing because they think it's gambling. But the best investors are like farmers, not hunters. They don't look for a quick kill. They plant seeds in good soil and wait. They understand the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. Imagine your money is a seed. If you plant it, it grows into corn with hundreds of seeds. If you replant those, you get a field. Eventually, you have a harvest that feeds generations, but you have to put the seed in the ground. Don't wait for the perfect time. The market will always go up and down. Your job is to be consistent, even if it's just $50 a month into an index fund. The biggest regret of every wealthy person is that they didn't start sooner. Time is your greatest lever. Put your cash to work before inflation eats it alive. Be patient. Be boring. Wealth is built in seasons. Security is an illusion if you only have one source of income. Relying on a single job is the most dangerous financial strategy. You are one bad meeting or one recession away from ruin. The wealthy build fortresses with multiple pillars so that if one cracks, the house doesn't fall. You need to diversify your attack. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you to build a lifeboat while you're still on the ship. This is the golden age of opportunity. Barriers to entry have never been lower. Everyone has a skill that can be monetized. Service businesses, digital products, freelancing. A friend worked in a warehouse but spent weekends taking headshots for actors. It was small money at first, and he sacrificed his leisure time. But slowly, that side hustle paid his rent, then his car, and eventually bought his freedom. Options are the ultimate wealth. When you have multiple streams, you don't have to tolerate disrespect at work because you know you won't starve. It requires hustle when others are watching TV. But the peace on the other side is worth every drop of sweat. If you want to fly with the eagles, you have to stop scratching with the chickens. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around. Are your friends discussing ideas and investments, or drama and how terrible the world is? If you hang around 5 broke people, you will be the 6th. Attitudes and habits are contagious. You cannot build a new future with a circle that belongs to your past. Find people playing the game at a higher level. You need to be the dumbest person in the room to learn and stretch. When I changed my circle, my income exploded because my standards were raised. I was around people who didn't accept mediocrity, so I couldn't accept it either. This doesn't mean you don't love your old friends, but you must protect your energy. Audit your life. Who feeds your fire and who pisses on it? Seek mentors and tribes moving in your direction. You cannot build a new life with old tools. None of this matters if you don't know where you are going. You need a destination. A fast car without a map just drives in circles. Vague desires produce vague results. I want to be rich is a wish, not a goal. A goal is specific, measurable, and real. Write it down. Taking a thought from your head and inking it onto paper makes it a contract. I once wrote down 3 targets. Kill a specific debt, hit a savings number, and start a monthly investment amount. They weren't just numbers, they were missions. Every time I spent money, I asked, does this get me closer to the mission or further away? I became a guided missile. I went further in 1 year than the previous 5 combined. Define what freedom looks like for you. Is it a paid-off house? Is it retiring your parents? Lock your eyes on it. The path to wealth is paved with distractions, and only those with a clear vision make it to the end. Decide what you want, declare it, and with the relentless force of these 8 habits, go out and claim the life that is waiting for you in 2026.